The night sky stretched over the city like a dark canvas, punctuated only by the faint glow of distant streetlights and the subtle shimmer of electrical lines humming with hidden energy. Kira moved along the rooftop, her senses finely tuned to the vibrations of the urban landscape. She could feel the undercurrent of power that threaded through circuits, water pipes, and structural metal, and she traced it with careful precision. Tonight, the Psycorps would attempt something unprecedented, to map and influence the invisible networks that connected not just machines, but living minds, into a cohesive lattice of light and awareness. Tobias joined her silently, carrying the knowledge of magnetic fields and the hidden orders that governed them. He could detect the alignment of individual magnetic moments within materials, sense shifts in the environment before they occurred, and anticipate how these shifts would propagate through the urban grid. As he observed the city, he realized that each interaction, no matter how subtle, could ripple outward, influencing the flow of energy and perception in ways few could imagine. Lena remained a few steps behind, focusing on the cognitive currents that ran through the people around them. Every thought, intention, and emotion generated subtle waves, almost imperceptible, yet capable of interacting with electronic and magnetic fields. She concentrated on harmonizing these mental rhythms with the currents Tobias and Kira were observing, creating a triad of influence that blurred the line between mind and machine. The plan was to generate a series of luminous currents that would flow through the city, a network of energy and thought, and observe how it interacted with the singularity. They began with small adjustments, sending controlled pulses through electrical circuits while Tobias manipulated the magnetic alignments in precise sequences. Lena projected mental resonance, subtly guiding the attentiveness and focus of the nearby population. Slowly, imperceptibly at first, the city responded. Streetlights flickered in harmony, building vibrations synchronized with magnetic waves, and the collective awareness of the people seemed to stabilize into a subtle, shared rhythm. Kira experimented with varying the patterns of electrical pulses, observing how the energy shifted when encountering different materials and structures. Metals and bridges and buildings aligned into temporary, ordered fields, interacting with the flowing currents. Tobias noted how the magnetic signatures responded, subtly amplifying the pathways that were reinforced by Kira's adjustments. Lena extended the mental guidance further, reaching those not directly connected to the circuits or magnets, and observed how subtle focus and intention could amplify the resonance. Unexpectedly, an industrial generator began its routine startup. The irregular pulse of its operation threatened to disrupt the currents, but the system adapted. The currents adjusted dynamically, magnetic fields shifted to compensate, and human awareness modulated to integrate the unexpected variation. The Psycorps realized they were witnessing not control in the traditional sense, but the emergence of an intelligent, self-correcting network, one capable of absorbing new inputs and maintaining coherence. The luminous currents began to expand, tracing pathways through the city's hidden infrastructure. Electrical grids, plumbing systems, and even the subtle oscillations in building frameworks synchronized with the flowing mental and magnetic patterns. Kira, Tobias, and Lena were not imposing dominance but rather engaging in a delicate negotiation with the invisible networks, allowing the system to demonstrate its own intelligence. Hours passed as they refined the process. They tested multiple sequences, varied frequencies, and observed the cascading effects of their interventions. The currents flowed not mechanically, but dynamically, integrating environmental variables, human awareness, and structural responses into a constantly adapting system. The city itself seemed to breathe with the luminous currents, a vast and intricate organism of energy, thought, and resonance. As the night deepened, the Psycorps observed emergent phenomena. Certain neighborhoods displayed unexpected coherence, where all three layers, electrical, magnetic, and mental, aligned perfectly. Elsewhere, minor disruptions created oscillatory feedback, revealing sensitive thresholds in the system. Each observation allowed the Psycorps to refine their understanding, revealing patterns of interaction between mind, matter, and energy that were far more complex than any single participant had anticipated. By dawn, the city glowed faintly with harmonized energy. Streetlights, machinery, and human attention pulsed together in a subtle cadence, leaving behind traces of the luminous currents that would persist even as the Psycorps withdrew from direct influence. They understood that their experiment had not simply altered the environment, it had expanded the potential for interaction between human cognition, technology, and emergent systemic intelligence. Kira, Tobias, and Lena watched as the first sunlight touched the rooftops. Their work had revealed new dimensions of resonance, adaptation, and interconnection. The luminous currents persisted quietly, a testament to the potential that could emerge when mind and matter converged. The Psycorps knew that they had only glimpsed the beginning, that the networks they had engaged with were far larger, deeper, and more capable than they could fully comprehend. The city remained alive with hidden currents, invisible to those unaware of their presence, but ever responsive to the subtle guidance of those attuned. Kira, Tobias, and Lena understood that the luminous currents were not merely a tool, but a language, a way to converse with the complex, adaptive intelligence embedded in the very infrastructure of their world. The Psycorps had touched a level of interaction that would inform their future endeavors, revealing pathways of influence, observation, and adaptation that would continue to evolve in ways both unpredictable and extraordinary.